Star Wars is finally coming to anime, and it looks glorious.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
What's that, cowbell?
Tung, 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 tung.
Wow, anime? Yes, anime is awesome. What are you talking about?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another visionary episode of the Empire
Ooh.
Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew,
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
and if you are a fan of anime, uh, today's going to be a good episode for you because we are discussing the Star Wars Visions trailer that actually launched last week, but it just so happens that we had some important things to do during our normal Tuesday time, and that was celebrating 100 episodes via our 101st episode. But it doesn't matter. We are still celebrating, and it was like a 4-hour episode. It was great.
Yep.
A lot of great questions. We answered them all. I had to break the episode in half and upload it in 2 parts. So like it was a week of firsts on many occasions.
I was gonna say, if you're here because last week was so long and you want another episode that long,
It's
that's
probably
not
not
gonna
be
happen.
this one.
It's not
gonna
going
be
to
this
happen.
one. No, but it did come out last Tuesday, and would have been perfect to cover last Tuesday had we not been celebrating. But we were. It was amazing. But now we're here. So it deserves its own episode. It's 1:55
Yeah, something like that.
seconds of pure bliss for me because I am a very long-standing anime fan.
Me too.
Cut my teeth on Samurai Jack, which technically isn't anime, but very quickly, like I got exposed to Toonami.
Toonami, yes,
know
dude. I
Toonami.
mean, everyone knows. You know
Dragon
Toon-
Ball Z.
Jeremiah,
freaking-
you don't know Toonami?
I've heard of it. I don't know all the stuff in it. Like,
Well-
Toonami was the like teenage programming. So like if Cartoon Network was like quote for kids, Toonami was that portion right before Adult Swim that was for like
It's like getting
slightly
you
older.
to Adult
Yeah.
Swim. It's like,
Yeah, like it was still kind of for kids, but there was definitely like a lot of
well,
action and
I mean,
killing
like,
and
yeah, I mean,
Dragon
DBZ
Ball Z,
was like
people
the
died.
main thing on Toonami, and then what was that other anime?
Well, then they had Rurouni Kenshin on
Yeah,
there,
that's
which
the
is one of my favorites of all time.
They also
and
had
that was-
Gundam. They did all the
Dude,
Gundam
yo,
series on there.
Oh my gosh, yes, Gundam Wing. I think G Gundam was on there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it takes me back. So basically, and it is interesting because Toonami was specifically created to house American adaptations of Japanese anime shows. Like it was like that was kind of its main thing, and it was the hub for anime at that time. So, anyways, all that to say, I grew up on anime. Anime has a huge place in my heart, especially anime that's like samurai or like ninja martial arts oriented. And it just so happens that a great deal of what we're going to talk about today, it's like the best of 3 worlds. It's like the best of the anime world. It's very heavily samurai based, and it's Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're doing today. So there's a lot in this trailer, so it's a little difficult to go scene by scene because it's like some of it is boom, 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 just rapid fire clips and stuff. So I guess the goal is to go over the overall gist and like the highlight portions because there are definitely some moments for me that stand out. I'm sure there are for you guys.
Yeah.
We could talk about those, and then talk about our expectations and kind of the implications of this for Star Wars media, because obviously unfortunately it's not canon. It would be kind of hard because like there's and I'll reference this again, probably, but there are a lot of moments in this show that are like 13-year-old Andrew's wildest dreams of what Star Wars could be.
Came true.
Yeah, it's like kind of outrageous in a great way. It's like, obviously, and we'll talk about this, but there are like quite a few moments where people are using the Force in different ways, and I'm like, finally, someone thought of that, because that was definitely something 13-year-old Andrew was like, well, couldn't they just do this? And then they do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, the scene where he, quote, catches the lightsaber, but he's using the Force and he's got his two hands up. Like, I've always been like,
It's very similar when Kylo Ren caught the.
right. But I'm like, especially with the two hands, like, why have we never seen that? And then boom, there it is. That was like, for sure, something I thought of as a 13-year-old. So
Jeremiah
Lucasfilm,
too,
if
right?
you wanna...
No.
Dang.
Remember there was a gap between my
True.
Star Wars interests.
It was
so-
when you were 13.
It's okay.
Yep.
I just geek out because, as you guys know, it was like I did the whole martial arts thing, and so like The Last Samurai was my favorite movie for years.
Not
Particularly, well, no, because I've seen like the Kurosawa films, so like, and the Rurouni Kenshin movies. So like, my standard for samurai movies has gone up a little bit, but The Last Samurai still is probably top 20 favorite movies for me. So, anywho's, let's talk about the trailer
Let's
before
do
we
it.
get on another
So-
rant about samurai films.
So I just wanted to get something out of the way. Just get it out of the way and just accept it.
Okay,
I'm going to watch the dub version. Okay,
that's fine.
just get it. Let's
Dude,
just
that's
deal
fine.
with it.
That's
I
fine.
don't want to deal with.
That's fine.
I
There's
don't want to deal with the
literally no
anime
judgment.
fan toxicity that comes
Look,
with sub
there's-
dub. Like it's
I
one of
mean,
the
we're
most
not gonna do
annoying-
that.
But secretly you are. I know you
No,
are.
no, we're not gonna do that. I mean, there's already thumbs downs in the chat and boos
Dude,
in the
I'm
chat,
not-
but we're not gonna do that, Jeremiah. This is a safe place.
Okay,
So-
but let's talk about. I mean, speaking of that, Jeremiah, you sent a list of the cast.
Yes.
There's some huge names in the
Right.
dubbed adaptation, including, but not limited to, Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
Ooh.
Tamora Morrison, who is playing Boba Fett, Mark Thompson, the audiobook GOAT, Neil Patrick Harris,
Dang, for real?
yeah, Christopher Sean. I feel like I know Sean. I feel like I know his name from somewhere.
Don't forget Hopper.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I was just getting to him.
I might have to do
Harbour-
both. I might have to
David
watch
Harbour's
it,
in
and
this.
I might do both.
Isn't Lucy Liu one of them too?
Yeah, Lucy Liu, Henry Golding, who's in Crazy Rich Asians, who is
What?
also Snake Eyes. Yeah, George Takei. You know George Takei.
Star Trek guy, right?
Yep.
Don't-
There's some
He
pretty.
has like the coolest like low
Yeah, he does.
voice.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's great.
Yeah, there's some big names. So like I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
There's
like
no judgment.
the person
at
who
all.
gave you a thumbs down, Jeremiah, in the chat, also said, "Well, after that list, I'm gonna have to watch both."
Who is it?
It
Is it someone I know or is it like
Lydia Senpai.
I see you, Lydia.
It's okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So-
do both because now that list, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
I
that
don't-
was my
there's no-
first thing that I wanted to get out there.
your first thing.
Well, I only have two things that like I wanted to say.
Oh,
what's
okay.
what's the other one?
The second one is it's about a specific thing in the trailer that I want to make clear. So you know we see the character with the 6 arms with the lightsabers.
Yep.
That is a kyber crystal powered suit that has 4 arms on it. If you go back and look at it at 21 seconds, you can see that it's 2 arms,
Dude, I need to pull up
real
this trailer,
human
I
arms,
think.
and then 4 robotic arms that have lightsabers coming out of it. And at 119 for like 3 seconds,
She puts the crystal in.
put the crystal in her
Yeah.
suit and closes
Yeah.
it, and then you get the lightsabers.
Yeah.
So it's not a 6-armed person; it's a kyber crystal.
Right. Well,
powered
they're
suit.
twins. That's
yeah.
the brother and
But
sister.
everyone who sees it, oh, this person has 6 arms. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Like, no. But I just think that that's cool that it's a concept that you would think would, like we see in the, uh, the High Republic stuff, like they use their lightsabers to power their
Vectors.
vectors.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's cool that they have the idea to use the kyber crystal to power something else other than a lightsaber.
Yeah.
So having a suit like that, I think is a cool and it has like
Oh, that's sick.
a lot of potential.
Yeah. And again, this is definitely one of those things that it seems like it's kind of fueled by the all right, what can we actually get away with type mentality where it's like, all right, what if people use the force in crazy ways? And what if, you know, we had a girl that had 4 robotic arms with lightsabers and her suit was powered by kyber crystal, and we've got an old man who has 2 red like shoto length lightsaber blades that have black centers, and like it's kind of fueled by the what if mentality of and I think that is the beauty of this production, and I'm anticipating why it's going to be some of my favorite Star Wars media of all time, because it's not bound by the same rules, you
Right.
know.
It's the
Um,
EU of anime, Star
yeah.
Wars.
I mean, and I think in some ways that's why I love it so much, is because it feels a little Legends ish.
Yeah.
But it also has the vibe that it's kind of fan made in a sense, where
Yeah.
like
Well, I mean, in some ways it is.
I
Because
mean-
well,
of the
that's what it is.
Force,
Like it's because we had that sizzle reel thing like a month or two ago, or whatever it was, and I think it was like they said they weren't required to be Star Wars fans, but all the people who were working on these happened to be Star Wars fans, and so and then I think one of the creators was like the lightsaber is like the thing of kids' dreams to like have
Yeah.
or whatever. So like they have that fan aspect where they're kind of like being like that, 13-year-old Andrew, like
Yeah.
that they've been going on for years being filmmakers or anime creators. Like, Star Wars has probably always been in the back of their mind,
Yeah.
and now they're going to do it. So they're going to take those thoughts,
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
and really flesh it out. So I think it's cool. Like they're not bound by the Disney parameters per se, even though
Yeah.
I'm sure they were given some.
Yeah.
But
And I'm glad that they had free reign, so to speak. Because again, love it or hate it, Star Wars is what it is in the major part of canon because of Disney's rules and their story making decisions. And it's just refreshing to see something not that.
right,
It's like
Yeah.
it gives me the same feelings of going back and watching like the old Republic cinematics, where it's
Right.
like it's crazy cool stuff. The scene where
Yeah.
the Sith storm the Jedi Temple and they're like flipping and elbowing each other and doing crazy stuff with the Force and the lightsabers and stuff. Like it gives me that same vibe where it's like, oh, this is definitely what 14-year-old, 13-year-old Andrew wanted.
and I think we've talked about this, with the Mandalorian and stuff, but I think Disney is seeing what the fans like,
Yeah.
and so they're going to be. This is part of their learning thing where they're going to see how people respond to this,
Correct.
and they're okay. Like they like these crazy over the top things. Maybe we can, maybe not do it anime like intense, but like we can have more fun with giving what the fans want rather than kind of
Limiting ourselves.
limiting by what the executives want, like and what their shareholders want. Like the shareholders are going to make more money if we like the content. Like so, put what the fans want.
I'm gonna avoid ranting, but I agree, and I'm also gonna say that they knew what we wanted. Like you literally just have to look at sales data for the various video games and the ratings for various projects before Disney took over,
Yeah.
and it is pretty clear as to what the fans actually liked. I mean, like literally, all Kathleen Kennedy would have had to do is go spend a weekend just surfing forums, and like Star Wars fans, especially the toxic ones, will make it very clear as to what they want. But it is what it is. I'm just happy that because like anime is in a really good spot right now, where the animation and the storytelling, I think, are both like really top notch in a way that's I would say a little bit more uniform. I could be wrong, at least in my personal experience. Like for example, like Dragon Ball Z, the animation was great, but there are definitely times in Dragon Ball Z, like the whole saga, where it slows down.
I mean,
and it's the
there's
same
a
thing with
lot of
Bleach.
fillers in DBZ.
Yeah,
Like
but I
Goku charges for like 3 episodes
Yeah.
before he does anything.
But like, I think now we're at a point, even in the more popular ones now, that they're sticking more to the story. The animation is great. Like Demon Slayer, there wasn't a single filler episode in Demon Slayer. There really wasn't an Attack on Titan, at least for the first 3 seasons. I haven't seen season 4 yet, but like, I don't remember there ever being like
I
any
mean,
episodes in
there's
that
like a
didn't progress.
couple episodes in Attack on Titan, especially in the beginning of season 3. There was some like they still progress, but kind of in
Yeah.
the same level as like episodes of the Bad Batch did. Like there was no filler episodes in the Bad Batch, but there was some episodes that like we could have not had.
Yeah.
And I think anime is slowly getting to that state, but the older stuff, especially
Yeah.
the stuff in the 90s and the early
Yeah.
2000s, mid 2000s, a lot of that stuff was they had to have the time. They didn't
Yeah.
have enough time to put out more
There
episodes.
are more limitations. Yeah. I really enjoy. I just really enjoy knowing that we're getting Star Wars anime now,
Yeah.
and not in the early 2000s.
No, this is the best timing for it. And like, I mean, people in the chat are also saying like, kind of agreeing with what you're saying, Andrew. Like, Rogue One, when they made that movie,
Yeah.
that's what everyone wanted. Like, Rogue One was still to this day the best, in my opinion, the best Disney film that they produced for Star Wars.
Yep.
Even Solo, like, if you go and watch Solo again, like, it's definitely better. It's not the best, but it's not as bad as like
Solo's
people.
good, man.
I like Solo,
Solo's good.
and I think there's a lot of things in Solo that kind of makes me go back to it.
Yep.
But Rogue One, like they hit that out of the park like right away,
Yeah.
and I don't understand why they just didn't keep going with it. And so, and like The Mandalorian, both those seasons blow our minds. Like they're so good, and
Yeah.
like, and it's a developed story, and they took their time with it. And I think what this anime show is going to do is going to view Star Wars in a different medium completely and a different fan base, and it's going to grow the fan base a lot.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to just be a good thing for Star Wars in general. I'm personally kind of sad, though, that it's not canon because, like I've mentioned before, and when we broke down that other thing, like, it sucks for me because I have a lot of fans, or family and friends that are diehard anime fans.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to them that this is not canon and go over that. That's going to kind of be a bummer. But I know they're going to ask me so much more questions about Star Wars, and I'm going to be able to bond with them and tell them to go watch the last season of Clone Wars, tell them to go watch Bad Batch, tell them to finish the Mandalorian show, explain, and I'm excited for this.
And listen to Empire Radio.
Well, of course.
Yeah. It like that. You saying that makes me reflect on, like, for example, in Bleach, right before they started the final arc, there was a filler arc where like all the Zanpakuto manifested themselves and came alive, and like it was super cool because it was like all of their swords have personalities and they're interacting with them and they're learning about them, and like at the end of the day, it was a filler arc. like you go back to the main story and there's really no huge ramifications. It just kind of passes. But like, I think this type of thing highlights those where it's like there's always, even some of the movies, because like some of the movies are aside from like Demon Slayer are notorious of like doing this super cool thing, and then you get back into the anime, it's like, oh, this didn't even happen,
Well, I
But
mean,
like,
for instance, like Dragon Ball Super, like
yeah,
those films literally retell the story of the show. Like they don't really
yeah,
do anything.
yeah,
But then you have the Demon Slayer. When if you don't watch that movie, you're not gonna understand season 3 or yes, season 3, right? Or season 2. I don't. Is there one season of Demon Slayer?
oh yeah, sorry, yeah, season 1, so you won't
So
understand
yeah,
season 2.
because this
Yeah,
movie literally ties them both, and you have to watch this film.
yeah,
And I hope that there's something in this that could be canon potentially, and they do end up making a future anime film out of it. And that
Yeah.
would be sick.
yeah,
Or if anything, this gives more anime studios to try to do their version of another 10 episodes or whatever, how many episodes we're getting. Like, if this opens more anime door, like, I would love to see Studio Ghibli do this.
oh
Like, that would be
yes, dude.
amazing. If they do a film, I would probably cry. And so it's just gonna open doors, and the more and more we talk, the more and more Jeremiah falls asleep. So let's start
what?
breaking
What?
this down.
What?
Sorry. Yeah, so I've got the trailer up, it's muted.
We can just kind of talk about like each kind of like
Clip.
episode type of thing. Like
Okay.
we have the black and white one. Like let's talk about that one because that's like probably one
let's
that we
let's
wanna
talk
talk
about that
about.
one. So the black and white one, the duel is
Duel.
oh my gosh.
Is that the
That
one
is
that's
not-
the 2 episodes that were brought into one episode?
I don't think so.
Because there's we'll get to it, but like where there's like the big saber fan thing with like then there's like
Yeah.
like that's the black and white too. Is that the same episode as the duel? Because like the duel just seems like it's a short and sweet like 1v1 or something. But if that's are those the same story?
So
Are they?
it was hold on.
Because that's the first time we see like
I'm
the
looking through the article. Where is it? Because there was something in this article that was like that talked about the two of them together.
yeah, it was like the when it's the sizzle reel came out.
Yep.
Can't remember which 2 those were, but it just seemed like they were 2 different stories in the trailer because they didn't have any much in common. It seemed like, but
I don't remember. Was it the twins and the elder maybe? I'm totally missing
Well,
it.
the duel is a black and white one, and I think it seems like it's potentially
Oh
two
no,
different.
the Ninth Jedi. The Ninth Jedi actually began as 2 separate shorts. One was to be set in a time when Jedi have fallen into legend and need to come back as darkness threatens the galaxy, with the daughter of a lightsaber smith seeking out the Jedi, delivering the weapons. The other story was told from the point of view of 8 warriors coming together, learning that they are indeed force sensitive and can trust each other. Ultimately, the decision was made to combine the stories in order to achieve something on a grander scale.
so that is or isn't the duel?
It is not.
Okay.
I don't believe.
Okay.
But yeah, so this one, hands down, is going to be my favorite one, because first of all, the entire thing is in black and white, except
for the lightsabers.
for the energy based thing. So like lasers, I think some explosions
Yep.
and lightsabers are going to be the things in color, which is really cool because it like 150% gives me Kurosawa, like 60s Kurosawa vibes. Like it's crazy cool the way that they did that. Not to mention that we have a Jedi who is supposedly a Ronin, because there's also a story being written about him, like an actual book that's being written about it called Ronin, or the Ronin, I believe. But
What
he
exactly is a Ronin for those who
draws
don't
a
know?
wandering samurai.
Okay.
They were samurai who were not aligned with a daimyo or a local warlord. or in any sort of army or anything like that. They just kind of did their own thing, walked around, fought people if need be. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so he's a Ronin, and these are the shots, some of the coolest shots in the trailer for me, because there's one shot, this super dynamic shot where, and I actually used this snapshot of this for the thumbnail, the YouTube thumbnail for this episode. So check it out on YouTube. If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast right now, the YouTube episode is also out. So at least go check out the thumbnail. But it's got him drawing his sword in a traditional samurai fashion, but it's a lightsaber blade, which is really cool because he also has a sheath. So it's a very interesting, almost unnecessary thing, right? Because lightsaber blades retract. At least historically, they've just retracted and it's just the hilt. But they're taking like much more of a traditional samurai approach to the weapon, or this aspect of their weaponry. It's like he's actually drawing a real sword, but then it's a thinner red blade, which is super cool. This is also part where he is in the middle of a duel and the same character catches a blade that's coming in, kind of a downward strike, just straight down the middle of him. He catches it, as you might see someone in a samurai movie with his two hands, but instead of obviously not grabbing the lightsaber blade, because that would be a mistake, he does it with the Force, which is a really cool interpretation, Star Wars interpretation of that technique. It's a legitimate thing, very, very much
Dangerous.
a last resort. Like it's like I've seen videos where it's like, they'll have a video game and they bring in like an actual swords expert or something, and it's like, tell us if these things are actually legit. And I remember one, he's like, no, that's a thing. I would just never tell anybody to do it because there's so much room for error,
Right.
especially because of how sharp katanas actually were.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I just thought that was cool. And then obviously, if these are the same story, we have this like feudal Japan old style showdown. It looks like in like the main street through this black and white like old Japanese looking village, and then we have a small army on one side, and we've got shots of bounty hunters. So there's one that is shooting this long sniper-esque rifle, but it looks like an old like musket almost, from a perch. He's in a tower up above, and then we have the infamous droid with the umbrella, the lightsaber umbrella.
Well, I think that's a person.
Is it a person? Hold on, let me get back.
Because
and
just
watch
before
it.
that, there's
Is
looks
it-
like an AP droid that is doing like
Yeah.
a mini gun or whatever they called.
Oh yeah, you're right. So
Yeah.
it is. You've got that. Yeah, you're right. It is a person. Because I just jumped to that scene. There's also the AP droid with the chain gun.
Yeah.
And then the person up in the tower, I'm pretty sure.
Is that supposed to be a Tusken Raider?
I think so, yeah. Which is really cool. But we've got someone releasing a bunch of rockets out of a backpack that's like covered in straw.
Oh, yeah, it
Dude,
looks like a straw bag.
It's so cool.
So we have to talk about this fan lightsaber thing.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna hate on it
I know you will.
Okay.
because you can just shoot it right in the middle and you'll just destroy it. Like, it's not like it's a little skinny thing. It's like 5 feet across where there's nothing protecting it. So if you can just shoot it right in the middle, you win every time.
Okay,
And
my
like-
counter argument.
No, I'm not done.
Okay.
Everyone hates the Inquisitor sabers, blah blah blah. But when it's in anime, it's so cool. Like, I don't know.
That's not okay. First of all, that's not the same thing.
It's.
The
If you-
Inquisitor sabers and this are not the same thing.
I'm saying people hated that it was they just spun like on a fixed spot. Like,
I never hated that.
Most people hate the Inquisitor sabers. I'm not saying I'm indifferent. Like, I don't really
Sure.
care either way. But like, if you're gonna hate on those, you have to hate on this thing because it's less practical. It's less anything. Like, I don't know.
Here's the thing. Here are my two rebuttals.
I don't care, and it's so cool. Those are my
No.
rebuttals.
One, if it's a Force user using it, it will be easy for them to use it in a way that they could move it out of the way of shots and actually block the shots instead of allowing it to be shot. Secondly, this is anime. And so there is a degree of impracticality that is honestly to be expected. I mean, like,
and it
comes
seems
with
like
the
it's the
territory.
same guy who was doing the duel. So, and it seems like I'm literally watching this and stopping it like every 5 seconds. But it seems like the same character who was doing the duel, and that wasn't the lightsaber that he was using for the duel. It almost seems like a secondary weapon that he had, and he literally just used it when that person he grabbed the machine gun. Because if you slow it down and you watch it and you start pausing or whatever,
Yeah.
it's the same colored lasers as before when he was using the machine gun. So they're green lasers. So they're green lasers that he's shooting the machine gun with,
Yeah.
and that's when he whips out the fan. So potentially
I
it's
also think
two
that's
different,
a she.
or she or he or we. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
It could be a robot. We were just saying it could be a droid.
That's true. That's true.
We don't know, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like it's the same character and potentially a secondary weapon just for rapid fire or other practicalities. I don't think it's that person's main source of weapon.
So, do you think that the story of this is this lone guy has to save the town from like this attack?
From this one
And
evil...
like, yeah, and so like the enemy, the bad people have, like, the main bad guy has this fan saber thing, and then he has to like take on him and all these other gurus that are with him.
I mean, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And to answer your question, Drew, you're right. That same character has a lightsaber, a red lightsaber, earlier in the trailer.
Yeah, and if you watch it towards the end, Andrew, if you pull it up to 125 and you pause at 125, that's when I believe it is actually a she. It's when she hits him off the cliff, and you can tell like there's high heels, but then it's also the single lightsaber and not the fan. So it seems like Jeremiah, what you're saying, it seems like this is the bad guy character, and she's coming, and this lone samurai Jedi is protecting this town from her.
Either that or... Oh,
But
yeah,
then
she's in high heels. What the
yeah,
heck?
she's in
Sitting
high
on a
heel.
log
Yep.
on the waterfall.
Mm-hmm. But it's also kind of
What the
weird
heck?
though, Andrew, because that samurai also has a black or red saber
Red
as
saber,
well.
yeah.
So
It'll
it
be
could
interesting to
be something she took from him.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I don't know. I just think it's cool. Honestly, if that whole episode is one big fight, I'm here for it. That's what I
Oh,
want.
heck
Just give me
yeah.
a sick,
I mean, the
12-minute
art,
long fight scene.
the art style alone is just unreal. Like, I love the art. I mean, I like the black and white.
The smoke at the first time we see the thing, when the smoke goes across the screen, like, some nice smoke.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I'm 100% down for just a long fight. Like, there's a movie called 13 Assassins. It's another samurai movie. Phenomenal movie. And the last, like, 30 minutes is just a bloodbath. It's just one long sword fight.
Question
Yes.
about anime.
Yes, sir.
Do they do, like, one-shots ever?
What do you mean?
Like one pan.
Like a one-shot live action? There's, like, one shot. Do they do that in anime where it's... Or is it still all normal cuts?
There are some, I believe. They're not frequent though.
Okay.
They're there. They have their own equivalent, and they're always super cool in the same way that they do. They do them in film. So.
Is that it? Is that all you want to mention? Or is there more details, Andrew?
I mean, I could go on for a long time about this one because like, mark my words, this is going to be my favorite one.
Yeah,
hands down. But no, we can move on. So we've got that one. It is worth knowing. Oh yeah, Jeremiah, that smoke does look really good. That's some good smoke.
I really hope Corridor Crew reacts to this after.
I do too. It does. The voiceover is talking about how in this trailer how like there was something, a Jedi once came to our village and left this thing with us, and it's entrusted it to us. And there's a box that's being opened, and there's like an antique looking lightsaber in it. And then later in the trailer, it's like, you've been guided your whole life by the Force, yada, yada, yada. And I think that those two pieces of dialogue actually both have to relate to the one where the bunny character is the main character. I think there's actually
Is that
more
the same one that Boba Fett's in?
No.
But I think I wasn't sure where they were going with this bunny character. But it very much looks like it's very much an action tale centered around the Force and a lightsaber as well, which is interesting.
It reminds me of that bunny character that we have in that one book, or maybe it's a comic book. It's an older comic book, or I don't know. They made a black series of it. I showed it last time.
Yeah. Also, really quickly, going back to the black and white one, it looks like the bad lady and her troops have moved in, and
maybe he's going to take it back.
Correct, because it looks like I paused it at a shot. It looks like they've got all the villagers like huddled together and they're keeping them hostage, which that could mean. Okay, that actually makes more sense that it's not the duel and it's the 9th Jedi. It could be, because it could be a take on the Seven Samurai story.
I think the duel is the people on the ship with the girl.
No, that's the brother. No, that's the brother
the
sister twins episode.
Yeah, I think the duel is the one where we've got the old guy with the two red sabers. I think that's the duel.
Right,
but I mean, we'll see. This is all speculation at this point.
But is that one also semi black and white too?
No, it's just the art style.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that,
is that the one with the gifting the lightsaber in a box?
No, that's the bunny one.
No, that's the bunny one. I'm like 99% sure that's the bunny. Okay, so going to this one with the two Jedi versus the older guy. One, he looks crazy. The old guy looks like he's lost his mind, which is great because it's giving me classic anime villain vibes.
I was gonna say his look reminds me of the guy from Dragon Ball Z, Master Roshi,
but like an evil version. Yeah, he's got black eyes with like these dull yellow pupils, and he looks crazy. And he's got two different like shorter red lightsaber blades, and there's a shot where he's like just blasting force lightning at someone too. Like the thing about this is about anime that I love that they're bringing to Star Wars is the portrayal of dynamics and power. So like a good anime always portrays power dynamics well, right? So Dragon Ball Z, it's iconic for its fight scenes. It's iconic for like a single like swat, and then the character just flies through 3 different mountains before they land on the ground or something. Like it gives you a sense of like, oh wow, this guy's stupid powerful. Or like when in Naruto Shippuden, when Tsunade flicks Naruto, or she flicks someone, like literally just flicks him with a finger, and it like sends him flying. Like it's that over the top like power dynamic thing that I personally love. And so we're getting to see that, I think, come through in the animation for this, and I'm really excited about it because like the old guy doesn't look like a joke at all. Like he looks like he's able to fight super well, super fast, and he's super powerful. And obviously we've got the shots of the two twins too, where we've got these massive bursts of energy between the two of them, force lightning and all this stuff. Like it's just the whole thing. With anime is aside from like there's a whole side of anime that's not this, but I would say the more popular kind of adventure action driven animes are always super dynamic and just full of life and full of energy, and so that's really exciting to see. But yeah, this duel one looks really interesting because it looks like it's centered around a Jedi and a Padawan who come to take on this old man.
Is it gonna be like a Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan thing where the Master is gonna get killed and
I don't
the
know.
Padawan's gonna have to dig deep, and that'd be cool.
I don't know because obviously we've seen shots of both of them alone fighting this older guy.
Right.
So like I don't know.
Maybe they'll bring in those energy shields that are like I don't even know what they are from episode 1 when Obi-Wan separated.
Oh,
I don't even know
yeah.
what are those things. I don't even know.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's not a ton to say about this except for all of the glimpses that we see in this trailer are again very dynamic, and it looks like it's going to be an intense fight, a super intense fight between that guy who he like truly he gives me Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars Palpatine vibes from when he duels Maul and Savage. It gives me that vibes. I don't know what story it's from, but it's worth noting that there is a shot where there's a city and then this massive plateau.
It's a bunny scene.
Is it?
Yeah, because there's a shot of the city with the giant Death Star above it, or not
The Star Destroyer?
Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And then later on, if you go through a little bit more, there's the bunny gliding.
And the umbrella?
Yeah, and the umbrella, and then you can tell it's the same background.
Oh. I was going to say that shot with the Star Destroyer is beautiful. It looks really cool because it's got this plateau. It's at nighttime. And on the top of the plateau, you can see some light from like a fire or something going on up there. And then there's these like really pretty like white or lavender trees. And then the Star Destroyer is just hovering above that. And then it's like a ladder.
Yeah, if you stop at 36 seconds, you can tell because that's when the bunny is gliding, and she is gliding, and then you can tell it's the same background.
Oh yeah, you're right because the trees are in that shot.
Yeah, so it's like it's just a different angle. But yeah, it was kind of cool because it had like ladders.
And in that shot of her gliding with the umbrella, we see a Gazanti freighter.
Yep.
Which is the same from The Mandalorian and from Rebels. I don't know what story the shot of the droid pouring himself like oil tea is from.
Yeah.
The red one, but it made me really happy. I don't know why.
I think it's the same story if you stop at like 44 with the guy scanning in the middle of the woods.
Oh yeah, it does look like the same animation style. Yeah, there's still a lot. You know, even though we're getting glimpses of these stories that we don't really know either.
Yeah.
It's like there's a shot of a droid at 49 seconds standing in front of a like this glowing ring with some people behind it. I don't know what that's from.
Well, and then what's the story at 48? Or not 48. What is this? 50? 50 in between, like 50, the guy.
You talking about the one with the TIE fighter and the guy with the mask?
I'm talking about the guy with the long hair before the TIE fighter and the mask.
Oh, that's the Jedi Master from the duel.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the one, we've got shots of this TIE fighter and this like kind of thicker, kind of more clunky looking robotic Sith Lord type deal. That is from the story with the little blue and white robot who thinks he's a Jedi because it shows them dueling later on.
I'm kind of excited for that one. Other than the black and white one, I'm excited about that because it just looks visually cool, and like it's because like when we first saw that little robot thing, okay, it's this little droid episode or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I saw him like jumping through the air with a lightsaber and fighting, I'm like,
gives
whoa,
you
dude,
super strong Astro Boy vibes.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, from 113 to 115 in this trailer, those 2 seconds are like a phenomenal example of that show of dynamics and power that anime does so well, that portrayal of those things, because of that short. Because like he draws his lightsaber and then he pushes off, super powerfully from the earth, and like the rocks blow up behind him, and then he hits the lightsabers clash, and he's like pushing the guy back, and rocks are flying everywhere. You know, like it's just super dynamic, really really awesome to look at. Like the animation looks incredible.
Is
Um,
the lady putting on makeup, is that the bunny?
no,
No.
Because it
the lady
looks
putting
like,
on makeup,
I was gonna
I'm
say,
pretty
it
sure.
looks like the same girl who runs with the bunny later.
I think the girl putting on makeup is the same story as the girl hovering the rock in the air at 1 minute and 16.
116.
Yeah, when it says "May the Force be with you."
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. But then obviously, like we get a lot, we get a ton of scenes from the twins one too.
Yeah, that's like the most one. And I feel like it might not be too long, but like also at the twins world when they're doing all the power stuff, you can see like their babies at one.
Well, if you go to 123, they're in test tubes,
Yep.
so they're
Clones,
cloned.
allegedly, maybe.
I think that's what the Empire is cloning on Wayland and Mount Tantus.
Ooh,
Heard it here first.
Ooh.
maybe it is
Force
canon.
Twins.
Oh,
Maybe this is canon.
That would be amazing.
We see Dr. Pershing there.
That would
Just
be
hanging
amazing.
out.
We do get some really, really pretty scenes from Tatooine, like from this Tatooine Rhapsody one,
Yeah.
where obviously this dude's like putting on a show, and it looks
For-
great.
for
And
the-
then,
Which is interesting because that's the only episode that Boba Fett is in, right?
Oh.
But there's like the Slave One attacking and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
like it's not just a concert. Something else is
No,
gonna go
something
down.
yeah,
something happens.
There's an overarching story in that for sure. So I'm looking,
And the
right
concert
now.
is at
The pod race.
a pod race. Maybe not Anakin's pod race, but a pod race.
What if that was like the opening concert before the race? So
That's
like
super cool.
that would be cool if that was. And then after the concert, we see little Annie in the background getting his pod racer ready, and
Ooh,
That
that'd
would
be
be
cool. That'd be sick. Hey, what would they serve at a pod race?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
I don't know, Andrew. What do they serve?
Sorry, I was straight up. I was looking at a
Drew, that was
scene.
the worst. Like,
That was
Yeah,
not.
I was gonna say that there's a scene where Boba Fett gets knocked back. He also looks shorter than normal Boba Fett.
Yeah, he almost looks like he's in the other, like that robot looking episode, like the anime
But
style.
I know he's being
but-
thrown backwards, but someone's got a flamethrower, and it looks like a hut. Not Jabba, but a hut.
like a house hut. Or
Like a Pizza Hut.
no, like what did you mean? Like you said, not
No,
Jabba,
like an
the-
actual hut. Like not Jabba, but like the species,
Okay.
a hut.
What second is that on?
It is 1 minute and 25 seconds.
Sorry, listeners, we're jumping all over the place, but if
Yeah,
you
we
want
are.
to try to listen and catch along, and
I mean, this is a deep dive. Like, there's no way.
that's the scene where everyone gets pushed back at the same time, like they keep
Yeah.
cutting back to other
Right.
episodes.
And then the other thing that I thought was super interesting is that, by the way, going back to the Old Man of the Lightning, if you're looking for that, it's 1 minute 28 seconds. But anyways, then there's the shot of the girl driving backwards on a hover bike, deflecting shots with the lightsaber. She jumps off of it and then is like fighting a guy as he drives by, which is really cool. And
Yep.
the lightsaber is like this weird, like
it reminded-
translucent green.
Well, it reminded me of the dark saber. It's
It
not.
does like a
And see, when I first saw that, I thought it was the dark saber because there's a scene I think before that where she's running through the woods, and then she's on this ice, and it
Yeah.
reminded me of that when Sabine was on that planet. Where
Oh,
they're fighting on the ice and on
Yeah.
the lake, and it's also like snowy and foresty. I was like, is she like a Mandalorian or something? Like,
is
It's
that
definitely
is that the
green,
same
though.
anime girl though, the one that puts her makeup on?
I don't think so.
no,
So what is
No.
this from?
I think it's its own
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting because she's like definitely driving the speeder bike backwards, deflecting laser fire through the forest.
Yeah,
And then
she had like a little like yellow
thing.
something, like she's
Yeah, I don't know what it
stealing
is.
or something.
But the way she takes down that speeder bike is slick.
It's pretty cool.
Too. And then of course we've got these crazy shots of like the twins, and the girl with the 6 arms has her lightsabers wrapped around the blade of the boy's blue lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like they're light whips almost,
Yeah, that's what they look like.
which is crazy.
Or energy whips. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Speaking of energy whips, you know what always whips me up into shape, gives me energy?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
Coffee. Every
Awesome.
time.
Awesome.
And it just so happens that we have a brand new word.
Ooh.
Brand new word from the same sponsor of today's episode that you know him, you love him. It's Wesley Andrews, but it's brand new.
Ooh.
So why don't we take a moment and listen to that really quickly, shall we?
Yep.
Hey everyone.
I'm gonna run to the
Andrew
restroom.
here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I love that Tanner's got the new script down there too in the chat. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you
That's
can
what we
get
hired him
coffee
for.
beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. I recorded this 20 minutes before we started. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it. Do it.
Do it.
That was perfect timing, Drew. Left and came back, and he sat down right in the last 2 seconds.
Yeah, for everyone who is listening to the audio version and doesn't know what just happened, he ran and took a potty break.
Yep.
But yeah, so do that. Go to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, capital E, capital R, no space. Get 15% off. And the biggest difference, and I want to highlight this, like obviously it's in slightly reworded, redone ad. The sponsor's the same, but the main difference is that the first code that we've been advertising forever was for a subscription, just a subscription. But now this code, the same Empire Radio code, is good for coffee of all types on the website. So if for some reason you don't want to commit to a subscription, go to Wesley Andrews. If you find a single bag of coffee and you're like, I just want one bag, you can get 15% off that order. So it's good for more things now. And this new system does actually directly help us as well as a podcast. So like I said in the ad, if you're looking for something new, looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your coffee experience, because it will. It's really good coffee. This is a perfect time to do so. Holidays are coming up. You gotta get gifts. You know, the more you order at one time, the more the power to you. The more the discount takes off. That's the way percentages work. So
true.
All right. So yeah, like we said, there's a lot going on in this trailer, and I would highly suggest like taking the time to watch the trailer all the time, the whole way through once, right? And then go back through and continuously pause and play. It's super annoying, but at the same time, you see things, or like play it at like a quarter speed, because you can do that in YouTube. You always see things. There's like always something new that I'm seeing every time I'm clicking through this. which is super cool. So I'm really hyped for this. I know Drew's super hyped for this, and I think Jeremiah is
He's getting there.
relatively
I'm
hyped for this.
I'm I'm intrigued. I'm there's only the two, like three of the stories that I'm really interested in. So the black and white one, well, maybe four of them. The dual one, the little robot one, and I want to see the twins one. See, but the other ones
Yeah.
I don't like. The bunny one, I'm kind of like I don't know. The bunny character kind of is a turn off.
Dude, I'm telling you,
It's gonna be the under. I think it's gonna be
it's gonna
one
be
of
a
the best
sleeper.
ones.
It will.
Is she like the Sith Lord, like Jar Jar, like least expected type of thing?
I don't think so, but I will say that like, so for example, Howl's Moving Castle, right? One of the greatest anime films of all time. Studio Ghibli. It's just it's a piece of art. It's an piece of art. It's a masterpiece all the way through from start to finish. So seeing it the first time, I honestly like I knew what Studio Ghibli was and I knew their reputation, but like it obviously isn't the type of anime story that I go for. Like I'm always in for the more superpowered, like action packed, stories like Bleach or Naruto or whatever. So I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this. The second you think you might not enjoy an anime story, I'd say a solid 7.5, 8 times out of 10, it's gonna be great. Because like it's one of my favorite anime movies of all time now, and it has none of the normal like things that I look for in anime, but it's just a good story, and it's beautifully executed. And so I think even the ones that collectively everyone might not be as excited about, I think they'll surprise us for sure.
All right.
So yeah, I'm excited. We will be covering these when they come out on
22nd
the
of
22nd.
September,
So
which is a Wednesday.
Yep. So we got to figure out we really need to wait until we see how long the episodes themselves are.
Yeah.
Because we need to know, like, obviously I don't think they're definitely not going to be in 30 minutes or an hour long. But we need to see how many we can fit into a single podcast episode to do them justice. Because we don't want to like do a single podcast episode on one that's 8 minutes long and then we're done in 25 minutes. So we will be covering them. It will be happening. We just got to see.
Granted, we've been breaking down a minute 30 YouTube video.
That's fair.
And
we're an hour into that, so
there's 8 minutes could be a long time for us.
All I'm saying is, of all the hype and all the talking we've been doing about this, we are for sure going to be covering it. We just have to figure out the formatting once we see how long the mini series episodes are. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be fun. I'm super excited about this. Honestly, like it's so funny because unknowingly, the fall, like holiday season, like the whole like ramp up to the holidays in September and October, and then obviously the holiday season has kind of become synonymous now with Star Wars series drops,
Thank you, Santa.
Yeah. And so like I'm really it puts me back in that like, oh, we're getting into fall, like things are like hyping up for the holiday season, like that whole vibe for me. And so I'm excited to get new Star Wars content again. Be looking forward to the Book of Boba. Like we've got that Lego Star Wars thing for Halloween that's coming out that I'm sure will be
we're so
hilarious.
excited for that.
Dude, we'll probably cover that too. So anyways, so there's a lot of fun things happening, and fall's my favorite season, so I'm getting really excited. Start wearing jackets again. I love jackets.
Pumpkin spice.
Nope, I'm not a pumpkin person.
I mean the
pumpkin cream cold brew.
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it.
I actually went to Starbucks this morning, and their menu has already changed. They've got like an apple crisp macchiato.
It's full fall already.
Yeah. So
we also at the grocery store, they're already selling Halloween candy.
Yep.
2.5 months before Halloween.
Yeah. Speaking of which, many people don't know this. Here's a quick little behind the scenes tidbit. So when we started doing Empire Radio, in January of 2019?
2020.
2020. There was still Halloween candy in a big bowl.
Oh yeah.
in Drew's basement when we first got together and we were recording in person, and we snacked on that candy bowl every Tuesday night for like a solid 2 months, right?
Month and a half.
It was like way longer than a bowl of Halloween candy should have lasted.
Yeah.
But
and all that was left was the grape rock candy or whatever it was.
The nerds.
No, we ate the nerds, but it was the grape.
No, it was the
little
jawbreakers,
little
gobstoppers.
Yeah.
So anytime I see candy now, Halloween candy, I have a very fond memory of like, as you guys were talking, stuffing my face with Laffy Taffy, and then like trying to chew it super fast.
And we can't forget that time your leg cramped up in the middle of the thing. And
oh my gosh,
that was the best episode.
You're in so much pain, but you had to be completely quiet because we were recording.
It was hilarious.
So I was in so.
We were like, "What is going on?"
It was really bad.
It was funny.
And I was sitting down, and I couldn't go anywhere, and I was having to talk through the pain. Anyways, speaking of talking and recording things, we have some voicemails to listen to.
Oh, I forgot about those.
But also, real quick, I highly recommend watching this. And what is this? 2.5 speed, because you see so much more. Yeah. Now that I'm doing that, like, it's way better this way.
Speaking of that,
go watch it like that.
I found a YouTube channel, and I apologize because I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's a very entertaining YouTube channel where this guy goes through like the main battle scenes in Star Wars or like the Old Republic cinematics and stuff where there's a lot happening in the background, and he watches them at 0.25 speed and does like a breakdown of the stuff that you're seeing in the background. So it's super cool. There's there's so much stuff in the Battle of Geonosis that they just copied and pasted.
Really?
Like the same people. Yeah, but you'll never know. You never know if you watch it at full speed because of the way, your eyes draw.
Isn't that the same guy who watches all the Marvel movies in 2.5 speed, like the whole movie?
Oh, I don't know.
I think so.
Because there is that guy on YouTube that he'll watch the full Marvel movie in 2.5 speed and like point out every detail and Easter egg and like when you watch him 2.5 speed right now, you almost see that guy almost kill a girl, and then the other girl blows back the laser and it hits the guy that's shooting his gun. But like when you watch it fast, you don't really see that as well.
That was another thing where she stops the laser bolt and then flicks it away with the force. Like that was another thing that I was like, man, they're really laying into the force powers thing.
But when you watch, when you're like, I'm watching this right now, and if you watch the twins battle scene, like one of the boy twin or whatever, his lightsaber is like almost purple. And you don't realize it until it's like so slow, and you can like see the detail of the color more and stuff.
Sweet. All right, y'all. It's voicemail time. You ready?
Voicemail time.
Okay, nice segue.
That's it. It's voicemail time. That's what we're using today.
Oh,
you nailed that, Drew.
You gonna cut that out and we'll play that every week?
I actually could. Now that he did it, I can put some effects on it too.
Can you do it over the other one?
Auto tune.
Make me sound good. That'd be dope.
Maybe.
I'm down for that.
All right. So for this week only, Drew carried us over into voicemail time. So we have two. We have two today. We have one from Davey Boy. Not to be confused with your boy David.
It's very confusing.
It's a different.
I still thought they were the same person.
They're not. And then we have one from Palpatine.
Ooh, Palps himself.
Didn't we get one from Yoda?
As confusing as this might be,
Yoda is Palps.
His name was Yoda, but it's from Palpatine.
Oh,
yeah,
someone
so
messed up.
Just roll with it. Just roll with it. All right, so here's Davey Boys.
Hey, Empire Radio, it's your boy Davey Boy, the mysterious Sith politician who also likes to collect lightsabers in his free time. Don't ask how that works. I have I have three things for you today. I have a fact, an opinion, and a question for you. Fact: this is probably the best podcast I've ever heard.
Oh,
Opinion: Rebels is better than Clone Wars. I'm sorry, I just like the character arcs way better. There's more. I feel like there's more character development, and it's not just spread out on a whole lot less filler. Like yeah, like season two kind of just feels like filler, but there's also parts of it that I like. And question: Anakin was supposed to bring balance to the Force. Well, how could he have done that when there were 10,000 Jedi and like three Sith dark side users? Like, wouldn't the 10,000 Jedi have like realized, oh, like we're an imbalance in the Force, and been like, oh shoot, maybe we don't want him to bring balance because we don't want to, give up our power and everything. Like, yeah, it logistically does not make sense. Anyways, bye.
David.
All right.
First of all, thank you
That's-
so much for the kind words.
Yes.
Best ever.
I always really appreciate those comments, and then they also make me nervous because I'm like, we can't suck it up now. Not that we will, obviously, but always a little bit of pressure. But thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the podcast a great deal. Two, I totally agree with you. I have always said that Rebels, to me personally, Rebels is way better than Clone Wars.
Way better or just better?
I think it's like a solid 2 times as better for me.
What?
For me, because of the storytelling. I like the storytelling and the development of the characters in Rebels more. Personally, this is not me making a broad statement where it's like, yeah, and everybody should think this. Like, this is just me. Okay? I like Rebels, and I enjoy Rebels more, a pretty good amount more than Clone Wars.
Okay.
That's not to say I don't enjoy Clone Wars.
Okay, can we at least agree that Clone Wars adds more to the overall saga of Star Wars? If we can agree on that, I can let you have your opinion.
I don't think that's fair to compare the two of them because the Clone Wars is like a 3-year period almost. And it's covering this massive event, whereas Rebels, it's centralized around a small team of people.
Like the Bad Batch.
Yeah. So, but I do agree. Like, Clone Wars does add a heck of a lot of stuff to the overall Star Wars canon.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah.
No, I'm rewatching Rebels right now. While I was building those IKEA shelves this afternoon, I was watching season 1. And even like towards the end of season 1, like I think I don't know, episode 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
The develop of these characters are happening so much faster than the first few seasons of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And like you said, like I like the single group dynamic, kind of like in The Mandalorian too. Like you're learning about Mando and his journey and all the people surrounding him. And it's kind of the same similar situation. So I don't know. It's cool. I like it.
And that's not a fault of Clone Wars.
I think
covering
Clone Wars. You have to cover so much stuff that it's harder to build direct. Like towards the end of Clone Wars, though, you do get Ahsoka's build and who she is, and that makes it really, really good. But the last season of Clone Wars, to me, almost trumps Rebels because it's so good.
Yeah, so, I mean, the last season of Clone Wars is phenomenal. I mean, Rebels also has the advantage of having Thrawn in it, though, which is kind of a disadvantage to Clone Wars because of my own nostalgia, So
and it does have Maul as well, even though both of them do. But like it has.
But
Maul
that scene with him and Obi-Wan, oh my goodness!
But I do like the art styles of Clone Wars a lot more than Rebels.
I actually like Rebels' art style more because it's closer to Ralph McQuarrie's original concept work, and I'm a geek for that stuff too. So
that's fair.
I don't know. And again, this is not me saying I don't like Clone Wars. Please, that could not be farther from the truth.
We're gonna get some. I feel like we're gonna get some memes of people exaggerating. Of course we are.
Anyways, okay, so all the way back to the Anakin balance of the Force thing.
We've had an entire episode devoted to that specific conversation about what it means to be the chosen one and to bring balance to the Force. That's a Katina discussion. That's like
It was like one of our first ones.
first one. That was like, cause I think it might be either our first one or second one. Cause
Yeah.
I know we used to do it in like trios. Like we
Yep.
we each do one in a week, and I think it was that first round of 3. I think I probably asked that one. So
I
it
think
might have been
so.
I think you asked the question about the chosen one, and then I asked the balance of the force, or vice versa. I don't remember. Like they were 2 questions back to back.
I think
And
it's
the-
one episode though, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
you.
I'd have to go back and look at Anchor and see.
This is a long time ago. This is like
It was.
this
this
is
was
like
like over a
75
year.
episodes ago.
Yeah.
I know.
This is
I know,
over a
Davey
year
Boy,
ago.
you're kind of new, so I don't know if you hit those episodes yet, but
Yeah,
definitely
there's-
go back and listen to the Cantina conversation about that because it was a really good episode. I remember how good that episode was.
Yeah.
So.
because my view of bringing balance to the force is different than Andrew's view of bringing balance to the force. So like
Yep.
it's all up for interpretation.
And which is, I feel like it was written like that. It was written for that. Like,
And-
that's kind of.
And just so we know, when we get to episode 9, when we hear all the Jedi whispers, Anakin does say, "Bring
Yeah.
balance to the force as I once did."
As I once
So
did.
everyone, y'all,
Uh-oh.
it's episode 10 and episode 11.
Oh, jeez.
So this is episode 10, Cantina discussion number 2. What does it mean to bring balance to the force? Published on April 28th, 2020.
Dang.
And then podcast episode 11, which is also Cantina discussion number 3. Who or what is the chosen one? So it's kind of a 2-parter. Like, we didn't do it in one episode, but if you want our thoughts on that from the 2 different aspects,
Go
those are the
listen to those
episodes.
because
Yeah,
there's full breakdowns on that.
for sure.
But yeah,
Dang,
thanks.
man, that's crazy.
Thanks for the word, and I kind of get stressed out too, like Andrew, about saying we're the best podcast. Oh, and there's a guest appearance.
Guest
Oh, boy.
appearance.
Oh boy. Hello.
Um,
My wife's in
also,
the background, everyone. He's listening to the audio.
speaking of guest appearance, I stopped it at 1:23. That door though. Who needs some WD-40 up in here? 1:23, Andrew. If you stop it there, or you watch it slowly because it's not even a full minute, you see the 2 clones and 1 incubator. But then if you go right before you see it in that, there's a quicker scene, and it's both of them in their own incubator, bigger, like almost as like. I would
already
say
closed the tab, so I take your word for it.
it's a really cool shot though, because there's a bunch of people surrounding them with full like masks on, and you can't you can't see their faces. It's really, really cool. I just wanted to mention that because I think it's so quick that you can't catch it unless you're slowly watching the trailer.
Andrew Newman down in the chat said, I love how y'all started talking about Halloween and stuff and how you're probably going to end the episode soon. And then 5 minutes later, are talking about details of Star Wars again. Welcome to Empire Radio.
Yes.
Yep.
Also, good name, solid name. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a great name.
That's a good name.
And he's new on the Discord too. A couple days ago.
Well, look
so.
at that.
Ooh.
There you go. All right. Well, on that note, everyone, I think it's time to talk about social medias.
Whoa, we
got
forgot.
one more voicemail.
Oh, that's right. I
We
forgot.
forgot-
I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I totally forgot.
We almost
had this
forgot
whole
our
discussion.
boss.
I am nothing but the scum of the
Palpatine-
earth. I'm sorry. Here, let's listen to the voicemail from Palpatine. Okay?
Palpatine himself.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm so sorry. Here we go.
Good, listener, good. Join the Discord. Join it now.
That's
Join the Discord.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was Palpatine saying, "Good listener, good. Join the Discord. Do it now." In a similar fashion to what he did in Revenge of the Sith, when Anakin kills Dooku.
Do it.
Do it.
Join the Discord.
Which is a perfect segue into
Yeah,
our
yeah,
social
sorry, guys.
medias.
Yeah. So social media, we have that, and we're on the internet, and there's a few different ways you can connect with us. So if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, or you happen to come across our Instagram page, instagram.com/Empire Radio Podcast, and see the link in our bio, or you find the link in our twitch.tv/Empire Radio About Us section. There are 3 places there's this link. This link can be found. It's links with 2 eyes.co/Empire Radio. And if you go to that or you click on that, it is a landing page that has all of our information on it. So it includes links to all of our other social media accounts. It includes links to join our Discord, which Palpatine instructed everyone to do. So if you haven't done it already, there's your sign. And it also has a link to leave a voicemail in the same fashion that you hear every Tuesday night at the end of every episode. So that is the central hub of all of the ways you can get in contact with us. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We have a YouTube, and video versions of these podcast episodes are actually put up on the YouTube following the recordings. So if you want to check us out there.
And our podcasts are not the only thing on our YouTube.
That is correct.
So we have extra kind of Drew does toy hunt videos and unboxing videos of toys and stuff. I have a cooking segment, Coruscant Cafe. So if you want to see some cool,
it's actually really good.
Some Star Wars themed cooking videos, recipes, jump on that. I think I have like 4 up there. I'm
You're due for one.
I'm due for one.
But also there was a full vlog.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of them. This is vlog number 3. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So go check that link out. And I know that people are finding it because I was in there the other night and we've got like 340 something lifetime clicks already, which is great because people are finding it and it's helping people. Like I know the Discord link and the voicemail link have both been clicked upwards of like 30 or 40 different times. So just know that there is a place. This one place you can get all of our social media information and just connect with us that way. Instead of listing all of our handles, telling you all the links individually, that's just the easiest way to do it. So again, that is down in the description underneath the description in the audio version. And if you're on a computer or you're on your phone, just go to instagram.com/Empire Radio Podcast and it's in our bio. That's the 2 easiest ways. So,
yep.
There you go.
All right.
Anything else?
No.
I think that's it.
All right. Next week, if all goes according to plan, we're doing our full breakdown of the second High Republic novel, The Rising... Nope.
Yes.
The Rising Storm. Sorry. For some reason, I got that and Chaos Rising confused. The Thrawn novel.
Which
but
would have been a fitting name for the second book.
Yeah, that's true. So we're going to be talking... We're doing our deep dive on book number 2 of the High Republic series. So you're not going to want to miss that. So
also, you're going to want to hurry up and read that if you haven't yet.
Yep. You're gonna have to finish it in 6 days now. So have fun with that because it's a chunky book. There's a lot in it.
Download the audio and just listen to it nonstop. It's probably like 7 hours or I don't know. These are
7 hours.
I think it's either 14 or 7 hours. I think it's only 7 hours.
It's not 7 hours.
No, okay, it's 14 hours.
It's longer than that because I definitely listened to 7.5 hours of it on a drive straight. And I was already a few hours in.
All right.
So anyways, it's worth it.
You
could
could do it. You could do it. You could potentially do it before next week. So if you haven't yet, but yeah.
All right. Well, with that, you have been listening to another Wizard episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Oh.